Hey guys, what's up? My name's Avnish Hegde. You're watching Fantasy Guide in CricTracker, where we help you decide who to pick for a game. And we're talking about that game, the third game in the CPL. So let's get started with this video. Right, a little bit about the venue first, because this is going to be played at Tarouba and the Brian Lara Stadium. Now, we do anticipate thunderstorms, scattered rains is also predicted, but what's important to note here is that the teams batting last don't win. So if you're the captain of any of these two sides, you're going to simply win the toss and bat first, because it gets really sticky to really chase in this ground. Also, to take into consideration the spin factor, because it is conducive to spin and there's going to be spin-packed teams, and we'll show you why. So let's move on to the teams, and we'll start with the keeper first. When we talk about the keeper, we're talking about Andre Fletcher. This man has been, of course, a stalwart in the CPL. I say that because he's the third highest run getter in the all-time Caribbean Premier League record. But what's impressive here is his six-hitting ability. He might not have done so well in 2019, but bet your bottom dollar that he could perhaps make amends this time around. Moving on to the batsmen then, and we have three batsmen to choose from. I'm talking about Jermaine Blackwood, Glenn Phillips, and of course Najibul Zadran. Glenn Phillips, of course, packs a punch, we know that. How he has been with the Jamaica Tallawahs. What about Jermaine Blackwood? Because we saw a glimpse of what he did against England in that test series, but in coloured clothing, he's even more lethal. And of course, the Afghanistan man, we can't of course forget about his facts, because he is an X-factor too. Let's move on to the all-rounders next. And we have four brilliant all-rounders. I'm talking about Andre Russell for starters. Now, this man averages 5.4 balls to hit a 6 in the shortest format of the game. Then we move on nicely to Carlos Brathwaite. Remember, he hasn't been in the scheme of the West Indian thing so far, because he was doing commentary for the BBC for the England series, but nevertheless, he is brilliant. You remember that 2016 World Cup every time we talk about Carlos Brathwaite. Moving on to another West Indian all-rounder, and I'm talking about this time from the St. Lucia Zouks. The man is Rakeem Cornwall, the gentle giant who strolls into our Dream11 this time around, and for right reason too, because he can donk those sixes, but he can also pick up wickets in the middle overs especially. Now, what about the other all-rounder? And I'm talking about Mohammad Nabi. Now, this man is the Afghanistan king, and I say that because he's played close to 300 games in T20, he's got close to 4,000 runs, and he has over 250 wickets. Now, that is brilliant for any T20 player, let alone an Afghanistan T20 player. Moving on then to the bowlers, we've got three bowlers. I said it was going to be spin heavy, and you've not got me wrong there, because the spinners I'm going to choose Sandeep Lamichhane, and he comes in with his mystery spin. But speaking of mystery spin, we have another mystery spinner in the form of Mujib, and we've seen him in the Kings 11 colours. He's brilliant with the wrong one especially. A little bit of pace, of course, and that comes from the West Indian local bowler Obed McCoy. Boy oh boy, he can really zip it through and nip it through if needed, on a conditions where it is going to be playing low and slow. So that's our team. Let's quickly take a look at our final 11. Now, when we talk about this 11, it is star-studded, all right. Captains and vice captains we'll come to, but it's important to note here, how will the match pan out? 166 is the average total batting first, and it's also important to note that no one has won chasing in the two games that has been played. There is also going to be rain factor to take into consideration, so keep all these things in mind before picking your team. Right, let's move on to the captain, the vice captain then. Captain, we've gone for Andre Russell. Now, this man can't do anything wrong on a cricket field. I should say the fact that he hits sixes, he feels like an absolute superstar, and he can bowl over 145 kilometers an hour. What's not to miss? So Andre Russell, get him in, lock him in, because the Jamaica Tallawahs will be relying heavy on the KKR man. The vice captain though is of course Mohammad Nabi. Now, this man, we've seen him deliver the goods for SRH, and he can do the same thing for the St. Lucia Zouks. Considering they haven't had a good season the last time around, Nabi will probably look to plug the gap this time in 2020. Right, so much to talk about, so much to look forward to. What a game we have in store. The Jamaican Tallawahs versus St. Lucia Zouks. The Zouks. It does sound good, and of course I might be going for the Zouks, but you never know. The Jamaica Tallawahs have a head-to-head record in this one, so if you are a betting man, bet wisely, and we'll see you in the next video. Have fun as ever. I'm Avnish Hegde. I'm out of here.